Welcome to another video of Buy In or Bug Out. I'm the Drew. We're joined here once again by the Deezy. How you doing, Deezy?
Doing good. We got another mystery scenario. So what do you do when you're in this scenario?
All right,
Drew, what do we have for the scenario today?
Aliens have landed. Okay.
Aliens have landed,
Yes.
and then we got 3 rules.
Yes. So first rule is they are not friendly. They are not
Okay.
here to shake your hand. Absolutely not. They bleed. So they are not fourth dimensional.
So
They are
I guess you
in
saw
our
a video
spectrum.
on X, some hillbilly. We're like,
Yes.
oh, okay, some green liquid came out.
Yes. So they definitely bleed. They are mortal. Okay?
What color is it? Is it green?
It's definitely green.
Okay,
It's thick
it's definitely
green ooze.
it's
Okay? This
definitely
is
green. Of
quintessential
course, it's
sci-fi.
green. What
Yes.
kind of dumb question was
Absolutely.
that, DZ?
Now, no talkie. They do not communicate with you.
Okay, so
So
we
they-
can't. There's no take me to your leader.
No.
There's no
There's no
this is our
working it out.
demands. So all right, so they've landed. They
Yes.
don't talk. They apparently have they're on the ground. If people know that they can believe, that means and they're not friendly. So that means there's probably videos
Yes.
of abductions. Maybe they've blown up the White
Here's
House.
what happened. They hit the White House first. That's how you know
First.
that they don't play around. They mean business. So
Was
they
was
are not
Kamala off site? So we got like Kamala. She's
No.
she's got the shoulder
No.
thing.
But they do mean business. They took out the White House first. Now you have the military spread thin and actually getting kind of hammered by these beings. Okay, so they have extraterrestrial vehicles that are superior to man-made vehicles. They're taking out our airport, and now you are under attack. It's mostly air battles.
This
that
is
are
bad.
going
All
on.
right. So
Yeah.
what do I do? All right. So it appears we're gonna lose, folks. I'm being honest here. It looks like we've lost. We've lost to the aliens. They've taken down the military. I don't think if the military isn't gonna impact the ships. I don't think the pea shooters. I don't think the muskets are gonna really take down a ship either.
Yep.
So then you have you comply with the aliens, or do you live as people fighting against the Terminators at the end of T2. You're like, the city is a hellscape, and there's beings outside, and you're like hiding in the rubble. That doesn't seem that good. But so what's the other side? You're like working for them. You're like
At
you're the
best.
At best,
At
yeah,
best.
at best, yeah. Maybe you're the guy
That's-
who's looking at the cage of
Yeah.
human beings, hitting them with the cattle prod, don't touch the chain link fence.
Yeah, it would be a bad
That's
situation.
at best.
That's at best.
Honestly, they're probably gonna prod me right after that.
I would not recommend giving in. What I would do, probably you got to take to the hills. They're probably going to be looking for heat
Okay,
signatures.
so you're going for I'm gonna live and fight.
Gotta try.
Okay.
I gotta try.
Okay, so you go
know.
live and fight. I have a different answer, but live and fight. You're gonna go off into the woods. What's
Yeah.
the next step?
So your first step is to make sure you bring an axe and you have an inch bag, right? You need to have your stuff together to be able to leave. And you cut down some trees or some foliage, whatever is local to your kind of area, and you put together a shelter that is not a traditional type shelter, because I'd imagine in this type of situation, traditional shelters would be easily infiltrated and you'd be dusted quickly. So I wouldn't recommend staying in a house type structure in this situation. Absolutely not. Giving off signatures like smoke are dead giveaways, but this is probably a being or a race that understands heat signatures or vibrations really well.
Yeah, it's like Predator, right?
Right. Like this thing is going to have superior technology to us. So while you have it, you might want to try employing an EMP. You're talking about an EMP on the actual being, because we're talking about, again, mortal beings that are using some type of
Ooh,
technology.
that's a good point. They could be cybernetic individuals, meaning they're not a completely
Right.
flesh being, right? There's
Right.
some sort of maybe robotic inside machinery working. All right, so
Yes.
people at home, freaking EMP. I don't know how to make an EMP. Okay, so wait a minute. I get like 20 kills in Modern Warfare or something, right? And I got an EMP.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, okay, so you can. There's a litany of ways to do it, but the best way is just the disposable camera method with an iron rod and a wrap coil. We're probably going to have to censor this entire section of the video.
Okay, so there's the EMP method with, what'd you say?
A disposable camera.
Disposable camera.
Yep, and then you connect it to an
Okay.
iron rod.
I think there's probably enough information. I think they can probably figure it
Yeah.
out themselves. Maybe
So-
use a VPN and only follow your local laws and jurisdictions.
That's right.
And
And
rules
I
there.
was saying it to suggest it to your leaders. I'm sure they're thinking about it too. They're
Okay.
thinking about how to use EMPs. Maybe they're susceptible to water. You have to think.
Is this something you
creative.
could throw?
Oh gosh.
Or is
no.
it like on the ground you detonate
Well,
with the wire?
If
or
you set up, a remote,
is it a wire? I don't know. Man.
no, you can. You
I mean, it
have
probably
to-
turns the phone off.
You have
after
to click the
it goes
button.
off.
The rudimentary design, for as far as I'd be able to do it, you'd have to click the button. The
You
camera.
can touch it. It isn't going
You
to
can
hurt
touch
you.
it. No,
you can
it's
touch
an
it.
electronic magnetic pulse.
I like the idea of like throwing disposable cameras at aliens.
Unless you
I
have
think
a
that would look cool.
Unless you have a heart machine.
Well, Dick Cheney has like 7 of them.
So
Can we
if
borrow
you're in
one?
that situation, you got to watch out for that.
All right.
But-
So that's Drew's angle. He's going
Well, you're thinking
Rambo in the
creative.
woods,
You're
making
thinking
EMPs.
creative.
That's cool.
What
too.
if they're susceptible to water? What if they're susceptible to, some type of element on Earth that, because you got to think about the.
Well, Drew's scenario is going to make my choice very bad if that does happen. If we do get the War of the Worlds, they all get a cold and die in 2 weeks, like orange fungus coming out of their nostrils.
was
All right, that's going to be bad for me. If the Drews of the world end up overthrowing the aliens, that's going to be bad for me because I'm choosing Team Alien. I'm turning against human beings.
Oh,
no,
no.
guys, I'm joking. Actually, what I would do is I would turn against my long-term self-interest. I would go Caligula's Last Stand. I would be like, all right, if this is happening, I probably got a week left on this green globe.
Yeah.
Let's just have as much fun as possible. So me and Kat maybe go on like a Bonnie and Clyde style
Bonnie
run.
and Clyde run?
Yeah. We just go
Okay.
on a Bonnie and Clyde run. Have as much fun as possible. Just sightsee. I've never seen the
Sightsee.
Grand Canyon. I'm just going full blown. You know what? Just caution to the
Yeah.
wind. I'm not worried about tomorrow. So I would do that.
All right.
I wouldn't turn on the humans and go Team Alien.
If that's your plan, man, then
unless
just-
they had a good dental plan.
you got to
401k.
get the ability to get gasoline out of downed vehicles. If that's your plan, you could probably get a manual pump and a pipe and be, off to the wind with downed vehicles because I'm sure you'd find a lot of.
How do you
them
feel
that
about
have gas.
bicycles, like mountain bikes?
Oh my gosh. They don't make a lot of noise, but you'd be exhausted from covering large amounts of area. Our system right now and how things are spread out right now is designed for cars.
So you might have a long period without liquid to drink.
You might go long distances without the water you need or the food you
Okay.
need or the shade you need. Especially thinking about it,
Shade,
people in
yeah.
Vegas, right? They're
Yeah.
in the middle of a
You
desert.
think of Route 66,
Yeah.
you got that like telltales,
Yeah.
like the desert. You remember we're like Forrest Gump's like running in the desert part, there's not a tree anywhere.
Yeah, so that's why foliage and just the life that we know in forests is really the lifeblood of how humanity came up out of it. We used our thumbs to create sticks. The animals and the food are in the forest. The shades in the forest. The water's in the forest. Most animals go to the water.
All right,
That's where the action's at.
So we got aliens. Drew's fighting them. He's got the photography
And I'm not
device.
saying
That's
I'm
all we're gonna
lost in
say.
law. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
gonna win.
You know what though? I'm thinking. I might come to Drew's side, right? If I see him in my backyard, they're in my neighborhood. I don't feel that there's any chance me and Kat can get out and travel the roads. Maybe
Yeah.
traveling on the roads is totally unrealistic. I'm not hiking through the woods. I guess I might go John Rambo style too.
Yeah,
I'd go
okay.
John Rambo style, and I would probably try to use like wooden spears. I would just go old.
When you're faced with such a cataclysm, the best defense is a good offense, in my opinion. I would still apply that. I apply it to finances with high risk assets. I apply it to just life in general because that's the best way to operate for me.
And
personally.
I apply the rules from the movie Predator to all things in my life
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
It's how I do everything from investing to how I wipe when I'm getting off the toilet. So it impacts every part of my life.
Absolutely. You're using the heat signature in the bathroom to understand where you're at and make sure that you're on target. I understand this approach.
Yeah. I close my eyes and I feel the heat of the wiped toilet paper. I'm like, probably something on there, and then I won't use it again, I'll fold it and then I'll use it again.
Let's not
and then
bring
I fold
Saudi-
it again and I use it again, but then I stop.
Oh my God. Let's not bring Saudi Arabia into this. I think that your only option here is to stand your ground. Obviously you got to retreat and find a optimal position. So I don't think the city centers are safe. If aliens do exist and are not nice, that's probably the first place. But it's a pretty bad situation in general. The best solution for this is don't be there. Same thing.
Don't be there and fight them like the Ewoks.
Yeah. But thank you for joining me today on this hypothetical, and we're going to have to censor
No, man, the aliens are
After
here.
it's,
Did you see it? It's in
yeah.
Mexico.
That's true. Okay, so yeah, they're finding paper mache beans.
Guys, this is a training guide, all right? This scenario is starting tomorrow.
Yes.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. Until next time, Drew Deezy out.